Apologies to everyone, we're a little bit late. We had an executive session, we had some personnel matters that got a little involved, and so we ran over. And again, I apologize for that. I'd advise you to read the civility and decorum at the beginning of the agenda, and I hope we can all stay with that. I'd like to begin the meeting then with a pledge of allegiance to the flag.
I'm sorry.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have roll call, please?
Mr. Chrisman. Mr. Disler.
Here.
Mr. Fedorcha.
Here.
Ms. Heckman. Here. Ms. Husak. Here. Mr. Kern. Ms. Culp. Here. Mr. Green.
Here.
Ms. Frantz.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Thank you. Public comment, any people?
Yes, we have Mrs. Shonk and a number of our student council representatives have signed up, but they're actually on the agenda to speak, unless you wanted to comment outside of your comments. Nope, okay.
Comment outside of your
Yep.
comments.
And then we have, I'm sorry, I can't make this out, Amanda Scholl? Hi, for a non-agenda item at the end of the meeting, as well as a Monica D'Souza at the end of the meeting as well. Hello. And the rest are the Arnold Family for Skills USA. I believe, yep, there you are. And then also Mr. Olin for, I don't know if you actually wanted to share anything this evening or just that you're, okay. So I think we can just kind of follow our agenda, and then at the end of the agenda, we'll have.
They would all be end of agenda
non-agenda
people.
items. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Okay, where are we? You've all received copies of the previous meetings held on September 12th. Is there a motion to approve the meeting?
So moved.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Here.
Second?
Second.
We have a second. I think Mr. Fedorcha is that. Yeah, okay, thank you. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no, and so ordered. Special Board Report, CLIU, Ms. Husak.
Our next meeting is on Monday evening. 6:30 is our start time. It is also streamed, so you can watch it online. The only other thing that I had was we did have our event with the adaptive bike, so that is posted on the website as well. You're welcome to go see it. We did give out, I believe it was 5 bikes and a stroller this year, which was fantastic to see students being able to ride who normally would not have that ability to do that. So that is what we have on the agenda. That's all I have today. Thank you.
Thank you, Gil. LCTI, Mr. Fedorcha.
Our new executive director is on board and doing an excellent job. We're very pleased with her. Also, we are going to be hiring, technically we kind of hired it because this person, our principal is leaving us. And we are in the process of bringing on a new principal, but we had a interviewing for our assistant principals, or our supervisors. And during those interviews, there was a candidate who came out extremely high with that. So the board had decided that we do not need to post and look again, that we're taking the one person to be the supervisor, and the person who really excelled in all those areas will be our new principal. Right now, he's not really committed to a district. He is working in a district, but he can get away, so we'll have a great transition time. Also, I'm very happy to say over this year, past year particularly, we had the most students who were recognized and won and went to the Skills Olympic, which used to be VICA, this year. And we had taken, I believe it was 6 places in the top 3. And in that, throughout our school districts, I'm very happy to say that there is one here in Northern Lehigh, and I don't want to take anything away from our principal or our superintendent. I know it's on the agenda, so I'll stop there and congratulate him then. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Our Gap Community College, attendance still remains down a little bit from where it was other years. It's getting closer, but it's still not what it had been. So that's a little bit of a concern. And I don't know how much you want to get into this, but we also had some very disturbing news. Our president got an email saying that there is currently discussion in Harrisburg to change what schools will require for a bachelor's degree. The school, and I see someone shaking their head. In other words, the Kutztowns, I can't think of the name of it, the Kutztowns, the East Stroudsburg, et cetera.
Patching?
Yes, that's it, thank you. Oh, wow. Are going to be given the option of saying, oh, you have 95 credits, we'll give you a bachelor degree, which sounds to me to be totally ludicrous. It kind of takes away from everyone who's worked to get their 120 credits for a degree. Why then would students want to come to LTRI-C for 60 years and then another 60 credits somewhere else when they can go to Kutztown and get a degree in 90? It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I see there's people in the audience who are shaking their head that have heard that, and I don't know if you have any discussion with any people, but personally, I think that's a step in the wrong direction, degrading that whole concept. What do you do for a doctorate degree? You know, is it just that 125 or I don't know. And so I'm just reporting that so people are aware of it and go from there. And that's about it. Thank you. Okay, committee reports. You have the minutes of all the committee reports. And now the moment we're all waiting for, student reps.
Hello, everyone. Our report tonight isn't overly long because obviously we have the student council officers with us who have our report on most of the homecoming and blood drive stuff. But I will start with the homecoming bonfire, which isn't overly student council related, so I can talk about this. It's supposed to take place on this Thursday, October 13th. There is a little bit of a chance of rain. So if that does come, it'll be postponed until October 27th, just so that we can still recognize our fall sports and things like that, since that's very important. Also, there's a bunch of like club vendors that are looking to make money from this event, so we're hoping that that can be like a good time for everyone to come out and see people from the community. Hoping it can be before homecoming, but if not, it'll be before the away game at Palmerton, so it's still like a good celebration. And then last week, each grade was assigned a hallway to decorate, and we've like started decorating, spent most of last week, and half of this week we'll spend finishing decorating. The senior class, which a few of us are here, have been helping. We have like the main lobby right in the front, and then juniors have by the library, and sophomores and freshmen have the hallways upstairs. That's all I have for like homecoming. Obviously, Spirit Week and Pep Rally, I'll hand over to Maddie later. Next, I have a whole bunch of individual class and class officer news. There's been a lot of elections and stuff, so we have a whole list for each grade. I want to congratulate Victoria. She is president of her class, so that is wonderful. Emma Wensing is the class of 2024 vice president. Zoe Edwards is their secretary. Cadence Whalen is their treasurer, and Daisy Richards is their historian. So that's all great leadership. I'm sure they'll do great. It'll be nice planning prom and stuff with them. And speaking of prom, right now we are having our Krispy Kreme fundraiser. So that we combine that with their grade, and then all that money goes towards our prom. So if you're looking for some Krispy Kreme donuts, look for a junior or senior, and we're willing to sell to you. That goes until October 18th, so maybe get to them before then. Next, for like the officers I have is the sophomore class. Marissa Mayer is their president this year. Matthew McCarty is their vice president. Katia Pizesco is the secretary. Caitlin Barthel is the treasurer, and Cameron Schmick is their historian. So again, some great leadership. Nice to see people looking to take on those positions. It's a really good thing to see. And then finally, for the incoming freshman class, Ronald Verba is their president, Olivia Schaefer is the vice president, Marley Edwards is the secretary, Evelina Mayak is the treasurer, and Samantha Mack is the historian. I think that is all I have for you guys tonight, but Victoria has her portion, including the sports report.
Thank you, Daniel.
Hello, everyone. I'm Victoria Hanna, as you guys all know. But on October 7th, the high school had a PBIS assembly for the students, and it informed everyone of our Bulldogs Inspire and the incentive program. And there was lots of fun games that like demonstrated each of the different like stuff that's part of the program, and it really it helped students like realize like what it takes to take on those roles that were like needed in the program and stuff. And also on that day, there was a meeting for National Honor Society for sophomores, juniors, and seniors if they wanted to apply, and the applications for that is due on October 24th. Also, on October 21st, there's going to be picture retakes for anyone who wants to get their pictures like redone, or if they just missed it that we had last month. And lots of clubs are doing a lot of things and having meetings and starting events and things that they have planned. And now we have our sports, and the boys soccer is 0-10-2 in the league and 2-12-2 overall. And tomorrow is their senior night, so if you guys want to come out and support them. We've had a lot of students actually in the student section like support like the football team, the girls soccer team, the field hockey team in their senior night. So hopefully tomorrow they have a lot of support for that. Field hockey has one more game left, and their record is 0-13 in the league and 0-16 overall. The girls soccer team is 6-6 in the league, and as of now, we're number 6 in the league, so we're qualified. And if that stays in place, we have a game this Thursday. The date and the time has not, the team and the time has not been decided yet. But we are also qualified for districts, and that's going to be later on. But we just finished last week our in-season, and then out in postseason. Cross country has a home meet on Tuesday, and their league meet will be on Wednesday, October 19th. So good luck to them. And football is actually doing really good this year. They're 3-1 in the Colonial/Schuylkill Red Division, and overall they're 6-1. And this Friday they beat Notre Dame Green Pond 40-33. That was a pretty intense game, but pretty fun to watch. And their homecoming game is this Friday against Tamaqua, which will be at 7. And hopefully there's going to be a lot of students there wearing blue and white to support. So that's it.
Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you both. Any questions?
For the Rex? Thank you again. I think we're going to page 2 already. Wow. Solicitor's report. I'd like to just introduce Attorney Kevin Reed, who's filling in this evening. If you have a report, it's all yours. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you.
Go for it.
Pleasure to be here. There's no report this evening, Mr. President. Thank you.
But he did tell me something earlier. He said that our bonds are finally settling, and we are going to be getting our money shortly for that, so that's a good thing. And I was also concerned too. I thought that the bond rates, as interest rates were increasing, we were getting hit every time interest rates were jumping. And he told me, no, that's not true, that he actually was able to lock everything in several months ago, so we are getting a pretty good rate, even though the rates have gone up. So thank you for your work on that. Appreciate it. Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Stoker.
Thank you very much. At your places, and there are copies out front of the ESSER grant spending update as of the end of September. In ESSER grant 2, we paid for the middle school kitchen renovations. The extra teacher that we have in kindergarten, salary and benefits to offset the large kindergarten class that we have this year. Our technology integration specialist salary and benefits as well. In ESSER 3, we paid for transportation for summer learning, stipends for our summer band programs for the facilitators for that. During COVID, we had purchased water bottles for staff members to use with the new bubblers that we have, so we bought some new water bottles for our new staff to use. We also paid for the nurse that's at Peters, salary and benefits, concrete pad that's out back, that we have the tent on behind Slatington. We have ESSER paraprofessionals that we have in the buildings, and we paid salary and benefits for those positions. We purchased Automagical Forms, which is a digital platform piece that we have to manipulate documents. And then we also purchased some books for learning loss. Those are the updates since last month.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Nope. Okay, Business Manager, Ms. Malatoris.
Our local auditors were in from September 23rd through the 26th through the 9th, and we should have their reports back sometime towards the end of October, beginning of November, and at that point in time, I'll report on how we did in, how to ending last year.
I'm sure it'll be perfect like it's been the last couple of years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Superintendent's report, Mr. Link.
Thank you, Mr. Green. And my report tonight is one of those reports that I really enjoy doing because I get to talk about great things that our students are doing, our principals get to talk about great things that our students are doing, and our students get to talk about great things that our students are doing. So first, I would like to introduce Mrs. Shunk, who is our student council advisor. And then, Mrs. Shunk, if you could just kind of introduce your team that's here tonight, and then they can give their student council updates.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. My name is Amy Shunk, and I am the new student council advisor in the high school. I would like to introduce to you our officers. We have Madeline Mack as president. Our vice president is Danielle Doherty. Our secretariat is Delia. Oh, there, I'm like looking at Danielle. And our treasurer is Erica Cryer. She's not present with us at the moment. So far we have completed our application process for 6 new members. So we are now at a total of 30, and I sent you those.
Just signed off on them earlier today.
And I'm sure you know we have homecoming this coming week, which we've been really hard at work at planning, and I will leave everything to Madeline to fill you in.
Hi. Our Spirit Week committee put together an exciting week of Spirit Days. On Friday, October 7th, we had a pajama day. On October 11th, we will have Twin Day. On October 12th, we will have a Dress Like Adam Sandler Day. On October 13th, we will have a Decades Day. And following tradition, we will have our Blue and White Day on Friday, October 14th. Our pep rally will be held on Friday, October 14th during Block 4. This is mainly run by the cheerleaders, but we are there to assist. At the pep rally, we will announce our Spirit Week winners for each day and announce our homecoming court. Our homecoming court this year will consist of 8 girls and 8 boys. The parade will take place on Friday, October 14th on Center Street, starting at Rensselaer's and ending at the stadium. The high school cheerleaders and marching band members, NLYAA, football players and cheerleaders, Slatington and Wallingport Police, and the local fire companies will all be participating in the parade. Rensselaer will be donating 2 of the cars to us for the parade. The rest of them come from members of student council and friends. During the game, the 2022 Homecoming King and Queen will be announced at halftime. Our returning king from 2020, Joseph Abadelli, and Queen of 2018, Lexi Meckes, will be coming back to crown the next winners during halftime, and they will also be riding in the parade with us. The homecoming dance will be on Saturday, October 15th from 7 to 10 p.m. Our DJ and photo booth are both booked, and we have hoagies coming from Weiss, pizza from Mama's, and various snacks, desserts, and drinks coming as well. Aside from homecoming, we will also be hosting our annual Fall Blood Drive on October 12th, during which we will work with Miller Keystone. We are looking forward to the rest of the homecoming festivities and what the rest of the year has in store. Thank you.
Thank you, Maddie.
Great.
That concludes the report this evening. Okay, so next year, as you girls move up, we're gonna get you up here, and you're gonna get to the talking parts. So up next on the agenda is has to do with Act 35. So Act 35 requires all Pennsylvania school districts to administer at least once during grades 7 through 12 a locally developed assessment of United States history, government, and civics that includes the nature, purpose, principles, and structure of the United States constitutional democracy, the principles, operations, and documents of the United States government, and the rights and responsibilities of citizenship. Each school entity shall determine the form of the assessment and the manner in which the assessment shall be administered and how and when it is administered. A school entity may also use the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services test to satisfy the requirements of this paragraph. So this is a new requirement placed on school districts that began back in 2018. And I am very happy to recognize 3 of our high school students tonight who scored a perfect on the exam. So that is a rare and admirable achievement this evening. So I'd like to call each one of our perfect recipients tonight up to the table, and maybe Mr. Rashevsky, or if you could kind of maybe snap some pictures. Mr. Green, would you like to hand them their certificates? So our first one is Miss Lily Gruber.
Congratulations. Can you reach that? Oh, there you go.
Congratulations, Lily. Great job. And up next, we have Miss Victoria Hanna.
Got to stretch. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Victoria.
Thank you.
Great work. And our last perfect score for this evening and this year is Caitlin Kirk.
Congratulations, Caitlin.
Congratulations, Caitlin. Great job. So if we can just give all three of our students here. Again, congratulations and thank you for representing the school district so well. And we have one more student this evening that we would like to recognize for a most outstanding achievement, and that is Braden Arnold for Skills USA National Competition. And I'm going to ask Mr. Rashevsky to come up and tell a little bit more about Braden's accomplishment, but also to have Braden come up and hopefully we can hear a few words from Braden as we present to him his certificate this evening.
Braden is a junior this year. Last year he was a sophomore. During his sophomore year, he took second place in Skills USA National. This was in Atlanta, Georgia, in June of 2022, and he did it in the area of marine service technology. He also took first place in the Pennsylvania Skills USA state competition for the same category, marine service technology. And from what I understand, high school students and college students are competing in this category.
Correct.
And he spoke at the LCTI about 2 weeks ago, and I think it's good for the Northern Lehigh community to hear from Braden what it took for him to make it through this journey to Atlanta, Georgia. Go ahead.
Alrighty, so first I'm going to start off and talk about what Skills USA is. So Skills USA is a program that helps students like me get into the workforce. So they have different programs like leadership conferences, obviously the competitions that I went to, and different breakfasts that happen along those times that allow us to network within our industries. So pretty much how I got to where I am today was started in the winter of last year, around January-ish. Didn't really know much about Skills USA, and my tech teacher talked to me about this competition that was going on locally, and that's with like 6 of the local schools. So I went to the competition for motorcycle, which is in my lab, which I'm in the small gas engines lab at LCTI. So I competed there, tried my best. I took second in the district, so that did not qualify me for states for that year, for that competition. So I went to the marine competition, so there's no district competition for that, so I went right into states for that. So that was held at Hershey, PA, so that's from all students and the districts from around in PA. So I went there, that was at the Hershey Lodge, and I competed there. I just had fun, tried my best. And I walked away with first, which was like, I was shell-shocked. I had no idea that I was able to do that. And then from there, that qualified me to go to the national competition in Atlanta, Georgia. So in the middle of June, I hopped on a plane at ABE and we headed down to Atlanta, Georgia. We stayed there for 5 days. It was really cool just to see everybody down there. I met all these different people. And then I competed in my competition. I still had no idea how I was going to do. I just went and had fun. I competed there and I took second. So, yeah. That's pretty remarkable.
Brandon, we have something from our superintendent and board president.
If I can just add one thing.
Sure, Mr.
I did not say this to Brandon at the Tech School, but I want to say this here publicly, is basically marine biology, listen to me, the marine part of the program is not really taught directly.
Correct.
And you took it upon yourself, along with the teachers,
Yeah.
to be able to get the knowledge that you took. So when you went and competed with both the state and the national, you were competing with students who had full marine biology, I'm sorry,
You're good.
marine programs.
Yeah. So-
But you yourself kind of taught yourself.
Yeah, I had a
job shadow at the Bachwitz Marina. So I worked there for 5 days. That just helped me get a little bit, but most of the stuff's pretty similar between the stuff. The only thing that there's a few things that are different, but
Kudos for you for taking
Thank
it on
you.
yourself.
all right.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Braden. Again, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
how well you represented the district. So that's why this is one of my favorite superintendent's reports to give. When we get to highlight the achievements of our students, it's what we're here for. So congratulations again to all of you, to all of our representatives tonight. Thank you so much for sharing out all the great things that are happening around the district. You are all welcome to stay for the remainder of the meeting, or you may choose to go home and engage in your studies and your homework and extracurriculars.
We'll be done in 10 minutes.
Thank you.
You and I talked about that.
Mr. Green, that concludes my report for this evening.
Okay, thank you. As I stated earlier, an executive session was held at 6:15. A little bit of legal, mostly personnel items that we discussed. Okay, with that, moving into personnel, we have items A through J. Is there a motion to approve the items under personnel?
So moved.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
And a second? Any discussion, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And so ordered. We have several policies there, 2 on first reading, 3 on second reading. Is there a motion to approve the policy items?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on the policies? No? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And so ordered. Conferences, we have 3 of them, A, B, and C. Motion to approve conferences.
So moved.
Thank you. Second, and a second. Question on the conferences? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And so ordered. Moving on to page 5, we have curriculum instruction, item A, B, and C. Is there a motion to approve those items?
So moved.
You're on a roll, guys. Don't quit.
I'm on a
roll. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any questions on any of those? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered. I have nothing under old business. Anyone? No? Okay. We have one item under new business, and that's to authorize the officials to enter an agreement with the Bucks County Intermediate Unit. Is there a motion to approve the new business item?
So moved.
Oh,
Second.
She beat you.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions on that agreement? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Okay, financial, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way down to K. Is there a motion to approve the financial items?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Okay, there's a lot of them there. Any questions on any of the financial items?
I'd just like to say that I think it's great that the district's able to help the Slatington Library. It's a nice resource for our students between the books and the computers and everything, and I am very proud that we're able to keep that funding going.
Sure. Thank you, Don. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered. We have under legal, A, 1 to 4. Is there a motion to approve the legal items?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any questions on the legal items? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered. I have nothing currently under correspondence. Anyone? No? Couple of information items there, some minutes of meeting. And now we'll go back. I think there was a few guests that wanted to be recognized, so if you can help me out with that.
Sure. If I may just take a moment actually to recognize before we open it up for public comment, we have two of our new professional staff members with us this evening. First, I would like to congratulate and welcome Mrs. Maria Schaefer, who will be our next Northern Lehigh Middle School counselor. Congratulations. And then also Mr. Jay Olin, who's going to be, who's been filling in as a middle school science teacher, but now is official and will be our middle school science teacher moving forward. Congratulations to both of you and welcome.
Thank you. I have a question. Can somebody get him a Northern Lehigh shirt?
I'm going tomorrow.
You know, there's a limit here on how far we can go.
I was going to go today, but the place was closed. I apologize.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so first this evening, we have Ms. Monica D'Souza, who would like to speak on a non-agenda item. Yes, ma'am.
So I'm pretty much here on behalf of the higher performing segment of the student body and their families. I feel as well as the other parents in the district that this portion of the class often gets overlooked because they're able to achieve decent grades and rarely cause trouble. As the saying goes, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, but these wheels don't squeak, so they get neglected. These students are good students who achieve what's required, but nothing more is asked of them. This doesn't prepare them or help them grow and develop their critical thinking skills, time management skills, study skills, which is needed for their future in high school, college, and in the workforce. I don't live in a bubble. I know COVID has impacted the education system drastically, but there are huge gaps in the district that need to be fulfilled and addressed, I feel. When discussing this with several other parents in the elementary, middle, and some high school, three main issues among several others came up. The first was the higher level kids are not being developed to their educational needs. There's no papers, projects, rarely any homework given, no summer reading requirements for the middle schoolers. Number two, there was huge knowledge gaps in writing, especially chemical and physical sciences, and elementary health education. The latter not even being addressed in the elementary school in Slatington for the past 2 years. It just never was discussed about puberty or anything with these young kids. And then number three is the lack of access to curriculum. We can't even help our children learn what they're supposed to learn because we don't have access to any of the curriculum guides that are supposed to be out there. And I've talked to Mr. Pine and Mr. Hauser about this, and I know it's in the works, but I don't know why we're so behind as a school district to address this concern. I'm here because a change needs to happen sooner rather than later to help our kids. It's not just the ones that do well, but everybody. The better performing students are not in need of a full flex period in middle school. This time could be utilized more specifically for this part of the student body. They could do, I understand that kids do need remediation, but the top performers in their class don't need that extra time. They don't need to catch up because their work has already been done. I feel like more attention needs to be placed on the kids that want to do more work and learn more and not be afraid when they're challenged. And there are many children in the grades that are out there, but that are just not being pushed to their full potential. I'm not an educator. I do have a lot of respect for the teachers and what they have to deal with on a daily basis. I understand that this is a small and under-resourced school district, but emphasis, I feel, has to be placed more on the quality of education versus anything else. I don't have a solution to this problem, which is why I'm here, because all we want as parents is to bring awareness to the problems that exist and try to fix them, because it's directly affecting our kids. And pretty much that's all I have to say, so thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you, Ms. D'Souza, and I do encourage you to become part of the solution with us. We have our education committees, we have our curriculum council, recently just wrapped up our comprehensive planning, but I sincerely hope I get to see you at some of those meetings as well, and we can continue the conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then next we have Ms. Amanda Schul, also for a parent concern.
Yep, I just wanted to echo her sentiment
sentiments. My daughter wants to be a meteorologist, which will most likely mean that she needs to go to Penn State University. And just given the test scores here in math that I've seen, I have strong concerns that she will even be able to get into Penn State to be able to get that degree. So I echo her sentiments, and I will be glad to participate in any programs and things that you guys have that we can help to make it better.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us this evening. And we also have Ms. Marwa Shak this evening for an unidentified non-agenda item.
Hi. Bear with me, I have really bad anxiety, so I'm just going to try to get this out there. Hi, my name is Marwa Shak. I am a behavioral health consultant. I have a master's degree in psychology as well as certifications in early childhood development and promoting basic functional emotional developmental capacities. My son attends second grade at Peters. Within and outside of my role, I have found that teachers are struggling to understand the behavioral and developmental needs of students. I've witnessed teachers losing patience with children, feeling as though they are lacking support, or disciplining children for behaviors that they cannot control. Just this past Friday, my son, who is diagnosed with autism, ADHD, and anxiety, informed me that his teacher grabbed him by the arm and removed him from an activity when he could not process the directive that was given. He was making repetitive sounds, which he does due to the need to self-stimulate. She asked him if he was ready to return to the activity, and my son said yes. She then said, "Oh, maybe I should talk in your language so that you will understand me." His peers laughed at him as she proceeded to mock him in front of his whole class by making the repetitive sounds that he made. He was mortified. No student deserves to be discriminated against, especially not one with a diagnosis. No student deserves to be mocked, punished for their deficits, or made fun of by the adults who are supposed to be there to teach, support, and protect them. My only explanation based on faith in humanity is that this behavior is due to ignorance and lack of education. So how can we change that? We can provide additional trainings for teachers. We can inform them of how to identify and respond in a positive and productive manner to mental health diagnoses. We can help them understand that reward, not punishment, will be effective in helping our children thrive. In becoming educated about behaviors, mental health, and the developmental needs, and in learning how to manage behaviors and meet each individual child's needs, teachers will reduce their overall stress and have stronger, more positive interactions with their students. This is essential as currently 1 in 6 children in the U.S. have 1 or more developmental disabilities or other developmental delays. About 1 in 100 children have autism, and 2.4 million school-aged children present with ADHD. We need to do better, our children deserve better, and my son deserves better. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Shuck. And we don't want any student to feel like that. We will look into your allegations. And I appreciate you coming to this evening to share that with all of us here. Thank you. Our administrative team will be back in touch with you. Thank you both for coming tonight.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I just want to say I have a grandson who's partially autistic, so I understand some of the things you're saying. And there's times when he's totally with us and other times where he's not even in the same world, yet alone in the same room. And we work with him and we strive and get along pretty well, actually, when it all comes down to it. So thank you for coming forward. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, is that it?
That concludes our list of public comment for this evening.
Okay, what do we have left? Oh, adjourn. Is there any other business? Any other business? You're moving, Mr. Fedorcha. Well, it's about time. Is there a second?
Second.
Second? All those in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no? And we're finished. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming.